All right, we're live. So apparently, after a long time, people forget how to log in. So it's just me and Jeff for the time being. We'll see if anybody else shows up, but we have an opportunity to try and get things started, I guess. So yeah. So first off, thanks to the Games Nook. They've always been there for us, and I went and I picked up the newest Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, and it's an awesome book. Adds nicely to the collection. They got that. They got all the rest of your tabletop gaming needs, so check them out. Yeah. Also, we're still raising money for the Hand Up Collective. So if you go and check them out, you make a donation and let me know. You can influence the game. They help support homelessness and addictions in Sudbury, so good cause. So definitely check them out. And yeah, so we'll get back into things there with Jeff here. So where we finished off, you guys were hanging around in Cyberpunk, doing your thing, and you decided to go after the lamp, and you found its location. And once you were there, you were confronted by a couple of vampires who charmed a couple of the members of your party and were trying to get the lamp, and they managed to bust their steal, or they managed to steal the lamp and get out of there, or they were about to get out until Zinger or Kingston and it's been a while. Victoria's father showed up and blasted the vampires, rescuing the lamp and you guys from certain defeat. You guys got into his cool mech and he headed off with you guys and the lamp in tow. As you guys went on, you started, asking him questions and whatnot, and you found out that this is new stuff. This is new stuff. So this is not stuff you had learned. We're done the recap, but I'm just kind of throwing in a lore dump for you here, because there's a lot of people who were there who aren't here right now. So we're gonna fill in a little bit of the gaps there. So as you guys are heading off in the mech, Kingston and Victoria were very surprised to see their father, who they thought was alive or was dead, alive, and saved them. So they were barraging him with things. You guys subdued Rastin and kind of knocked him unconscious. So
very unhappy Rastin.
Oh yeah, because he was still trying to get the lamp. So you knocked him out and made your way to there. So eventually, as you guys kind of got clear of the area, as there was a whole bunch of commotion happening on the surface of Stonehenge, just going crazy. So you guys got out of there, and you guys decided to investigate the lamp. And as you looked into the lamp and whatnot, you found that it was empty.
It's empty.
Yes. You found the lamp was empty.
So no tiefling.
No tiefling. No evil guy with
a drunk
hand. Just an empty lamp.
No drunk monk.
No book. Nothing. Just an empty, like it looked dusty in there. Looked like nobody'd been in there for centuries.
Okay.
And if you do remember,
that's not good.
And when you were looking around, you remember there was dead bodies around the lamp, and it appeared that they had died from the Black Plague. So,
oh yeah,
it would be logical to believe that somebody getting out of the lamp may have been the cause of the Black Plague. So that'll be something for you guys to deal with in the future.
Some crazy frog guy.
Yeah. So
frog god.
So you guys learned that, and basically figured that out. Kingston and Queenie decided to go with their father back to Surgex for the time being to get some explanation and figure out what's going on. He kind of explained briefly that he's actually centuries old there, and he's been with your buddy the whole time there. He has been with why can't I even remember my own bad guy's name? It's been so long.
Kerwin.
Yeah, Kerwin. He's been with Kerwin for a ridiculous amount of time, and basically since around the time you guys first saw him, which would have been or first met the other guys from Kerwin's crew in Salem. He's been with him for around that long.
So he's old.
He's very old.
Very old.
And he kind of gets into a little bit about how Kerwin and he's very forthcoming with you in the fact that they've been faking their deaths throughout these years, and that's what the bodies you guys found were, or the clone tubes.
We're still trying to figure out if these are good or bad.
Yeah,
obviously.
The rest of you don't really trust what's going on necessarily, but Kingston and Victoria decided to go off with them for the time being.
I'm still curious about, oh God, what's her name? Left the note to rest, and how she fits in.
Oh, your buddy?
How they think.
Your buddy, Jesus Christ came into the world to save Sykes?
Yeah.
That one?
But I mean, but even the rebels, like how it seems that we first thought Kerwin's evil. Well, he's probably not that great. But then the rebels, the Lazarus group, they weren't that great either. It just seems that there's no good. Trying to get a straight answer out of somebody is the hard part.
Yeah. So you guys kind of go through this, and you don't trust them fully, so you get him to drop you guys off at a nondescript location, kind of a thing, so as to not lead them back to your area. Well, you suspect they probably know where your lair is, but you're not gonna give it to them.
Well, yeah. How many bases are there kicking around?
Exactly. You suspect they probably know, but they're doing a job of pretending that they don't know, just to make you feel safe. Kind of like it's one of those things that like they know that you know that they know, but they want to be like, no, go back to your fort, go back to your tree house. You'll be safe in your tree house. The nice thing is you don't believe that the rebels know where your fort is yet, so at least there's one group that doesn't know where you are. So
yeah, half the problem.
So you guys make your way back, and as you guys make your way back, you see that on your VR systems, there's a new patch that's opening, or at least a new version, and it's like Salem 2.0.
An update. Perfect.
So as you go,
we're gonna patch in. I'm gonna patch in. We're gonna patch in.
So as you go to log in, the rest of you all go to log in, and oddly, it seems that most of the other times you've logged in, you've been together when you show in. But as you log in this time, you find yourself inhabiting a familiar body. Your buddy, your buddy Grim.
Now, some people have lost their obviously, like Brian lost his character, like his body. Now I'm trying to just refresh who was. Queenie was there.
He's died. Ian was still alive. Actually, Kingston and Victoria were not there, and Justin wasn't there. I believe Yo and Sean were both there and survived.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. I was looking at back at characters going,
Yeah.
hey, who was there? I should have just looked back at the street. It would have been
Yeah.
easier.
hmm So as you go in, and this is another weird thing where you haven't really experienced it before because you've never jumped back into a body, and you jump back into Barrett's body, and you feel this unnatural age about yourself. You feel old. You feel sore. You feel cranky, crotchety a little bit. You feel like, while you're still the jester at heart, you're maybe a little bit more mean spirited with things. You also get this flood of memories coming back to you of the last 100 years of wandering the American countryside, fighting monsters and whatnot with your companions. And probably about 20 years ago, you guys split up. But you did lose track of Ian's character, which is I just had it here. Just going through.
As there was.
It was
It's Gaz and Tula.
yeah,
Gaz
those were
pushed
their things.
Yeah.
It was
the cart.
Herod. He was a swarm keeper ranger. Not the smartest.
Not the smartest guy.
And he was immediately made much older than you guys when he was scared by the ghosts.
Yes.
So he was already older than you guys. Thanks for the follow, Innocent Rabbit. We got a follower in the chat there. But so yeah, you had you lost track with you lost track with Ian's character, with Herod. Actually pretty well after Salem. He went off to raise Virginia, the small girl you guys rescued from Roanoke.
Yeah.
He kind of went off with her to do their thing, and you haven't really heard much of them since. And you find yourself in a bar in Boston. It's 100 years later. The world's moved on. And there isn't much use for a monster hunter anymore. You're finding jobs harder to find. The fear of magic has gone away, and with technology, and they've kind of it's no longer a concern of people's. They have more things to worry about. I see your Poochie has
My dog's she's being attacked by a blackbird.
So
big chicken.
So you are sitting in a bar. It's been probably about 20 years since the last time you slayed a monster. You've been going around, doing parlor tricks and whatnot, and whatever you can to get by. You're just this crotchety old guy at the bar.
So what's the year right now? The year would be.
So it's about 100 years after Salem. So
that's 1792. So 1892.
It was 1692 was the.
Or 1692
was Salem. So 1792.
Yeah,
You're the late
1792.
1700s. So you're getting into the late 1700s.
So there'd be traveling entertainers, circuses, traveling shows.
Mm-hmm. You do see this poster at one point that catches your eye as you're sitting in a bar, and you see this traveling circus there that's now hiring and whatnot for this traveling circus, and that they're coming to town soon. And the circus is called the Circus of Heckna.
Circus of Heckna or Heckno.
The Heckna's Carnival. It's coming to town.
Okay. Is there contact information?
You see that, and you see it's just kind of a like it says that they'll be there in about a week.
Okay.
They'll be running into town. All right.
I'll ask Barrett, what do you think? It's time, buddy. Let's get back to work. Somebody's got to pay the bills.
Mm-hmm. And give me a perception check.
Let me roll back. I just took my character off.
Take your character off your screen and boom, gotcha.
I know. Well, I actually did the Beyond 20 integration.
Oh yeah.
See how it rolls.
All right.
Oh,
Perception.
there you go. Look,
With your newly raised wisdom and intelligence, you should be even better at those things.
22.
22. Look at that. You notice.
Actually, I rolled really high.
You notice like a little brush against your pocket.
Perfect. Look around.
You look around and you see this figure kind of pushing their way through the crowd. You just kind of catch the back of them, but you feel like your pocket's heavier, not lighter.
Oh. I'm gonna look at Barrett and okay, is Barrett with me?
Yep.
I would think we're in the bar.
You're
I
in
would
the bar.
disguise him too. He's always going to be disguised. I had this thought of along the lines of oh my god, what do you call it? Critical Role, where you know the goblins always disguise.
Yeah.
And the same idea, I would disguise Barrett as a child
Okay.
or another halfling, or because he's about 2 feet tall. So
Yeah, but again, we are talking. This is real world, so there's not really halflings. You're just kind of a really short guy.
dwarf, yeah,
Yeah.
you're a dwarf. Like,
Exactly.
yeah. So if I can disguise Barrett the same,
Yep. So, as you see this figure kind of walking away, and give me a history check. Oh, here comes the roll. Another 19.
roll perception. No, that's screwed up. But that's right, though. 21.
21. Okay. You catch the scent of this person, and you get these memories of this woman that's walking away, and you remember her from the thing. This immediately it comes back to you that this is Jesus Christ came into the world to save Sykes.
I'm gonna check the pocket.
Okay, and you
The
see
note.
a note in there. And in the note, you see this note with an ornate wax seal, and you recognize it as the here, 1 second, I just gotta check something. We said it was 1796, right? So we just said the year was.
Yeah, 1796, 1792, somewhere around there.
Okay. You see basically the crest of Alexander Hamilton's office on this.
Oh. Damn Masons.
Actually, was he even still alive then? That might have been. Guess the
I don't
wrong
know.
person.
Alexander Hamilton?
He was still alive. Okay. He was still alive and in his prime then. Okay, good. That's what I thought. Had to double check. Gotta check my history here.
Okay. I gotta make sure no one's looking at me, like trying to conceal it. Have a good read.
Okay. As you start to read it, you get the gist of the note is basically, it's been a long time, my old friend. I notice that you have almost done your job too well, and there's no more monsters for you to hunt here in the Americas. However, I have some associates that need help across the pond.
Okay.
It'll be
Let's
well
listen.
worth your time. I'm getting the band back together, kind of a thing.
Oh no. Um, does it say where? Is there can I write back? Can I
It has a ticket for a ship.
Oh, we're going sailing.
A ship across the sea to Europe. In fact, to
Any
France.
idea where okay, so we're going to France. Okay. Curious. Well, what else do you do? We're in VR.
You
You go where you go.
go where you go. And you do see, like, there's quite a bit of money also in this envelope.
Now, how much money would I am I living poor right now, or are I still living
You're
off
still
of
doing okay for yourself, but it's definitely, it's more money than you currently have.
okay. I mean, I figure I can always thieve and swindle, and I'm very, very persuasive. And my sleight of hand's pretty good too.
Yeah.
There's always something. There's always some money, and Barrett can get into anywhere. Okay, I will take the trip.
Okay, so you go back,
Pack light.
go back to your house or cabin or whatever it is. Have you decided to live?
Probably a rooming house. I would probably assume that he moves from place to place.
Like I said, for the last 20 years, you've been kind of retired almost. But you could have had a cabin, you could have had a thing, whatever you wanted.
An entertainer has to entertain.
Yeah.
Probably have like a some shack somewhere to hang your hat, kind of
Yeah.
like entertainers that always go to Florida for the winter.
Yeah.
And that could very well be. That's
Or
a
you
good
go
idea.
back to
Or for the winter.
you go to your apartment or shack or whatever and collect a box full of your things. You actually see that
Yes.
there's a chest full of your things, and you actually see that there's two tickets. They thought to send one for Barrett.
I mean, he could sit invisible all the time, but that wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So they got two tickets for you to cross the ocean.
We will take the trip.
All right. So you take the long sea voyage. There.
Oh, yeah, we're only by ship. That's like 3 months at sea. Oh boy.
What kind of shenanigans do you do on a long sea voyage to keep yourself entertained?
You get rickets. Like honestly, Al, you could gamble,
Yeah.
entertain.
Hmm.
People would probably get sick of you after a while, but it would be fun.
Hmm.
I'm sure gambling would be good. I wouldn't mind making a few coins along the way.
Hmm.
As a
So
bard, you could still play. There was always, I'm sure there would be plenty of booze and song in the evenings.
yeah. So you do your entertaining and gambling as you cross the ocean and do your thing.
Hopefully, they love you at the end of the trip. And they're not ready to kill all yet.
as you go to get off the ship at the end of your voyage, everybody's waving and like, oh man, I hope you're on the ride back, and that's the most entertaining trip across the ocean I've ever had. That's for those 2 months felt like a week. Best cruise ever. You got a Yelp
As
review.
we all have,
Yelp review 5 stars.
as we've just spent 2 months eating salt pork and turnips.
Well, I'm sure you have some sort of magic that you can make things taste better, or a little prestidigitation
Yeah,
or
but
something.
there's only so much on a ship at that time.
But you do your thing and you cross the ocean and you find yourself arriving in the port, and standing at the bottom of the thing is the person that you recognize as Kingston's father,
Yeah.
Dr. Nicholas Barbon.
Barbon.
Mhm.
Nick Barbon.
His
Okay,
previous name that you would have known him about is, if Christ had not died for thee, thou hadst been damned. He was Praise God's son. Which actually was the witch hunter that you guys had, destroyed.
Which now questions, how old are Zinger and his sister? Like, how long have they been around? Are they new additions?
You don't know.
Okay, that's crazy now. Okay, I'll gladly introduce myself.
Yep. But you did
Queen the
recognize him.
Entertainer.
He was a lot younger when you met him. He was like a small child at the time. But you do recognize him, and your VR self, you recognize him as their father.
Seems we meet again.
Mm-hmm. He goes, yes, our associate, Mr. Hamilton, told me to pick you up and get you to the train.
I'm intrigued. I have no idea why I'm here, but I'm intrigued.
Well, from what I hear, there's nobody better at killing the horrors of the world than you and your associates. At least that's the reputation you guys garnered. I knew you were definitely better than my father.
Well, as you can see, not all of us made it out.
So he directs you, and he grabs your things and he kind of puts it into a carriage, and the carriage heads off towards the train station.
Okay. We're gonna go to the train station. I'm just curious. Like,
is there anything you want to ask this guy as you're?
I can ask. Well, that's what I say. Like, while we're sitting there, I'll say, "So, have any kids?"
I have not had the
Mary?
pleasure yet. I've been far too busy.
Interesting.
Mr. Hamilton keeps me quite busy. Traveling the world, handling his affairs.
So, how long have you worked for Mr. Hamilton?
Going on 80 years. And you look at this guy, and he looks in his 40s.
Whereas I am definitely
older.
older.
You're like 140 years old, and you look like
Yeah.
you're in your 70s or 80s. But he definitely looks a lot younger than someone who's been working for someone for 80 years.
Sorry, my dog's getting attacked. It's funny. Okay. Do you have any idea what we're doing? Killing monsters. It's a pretty wide open. We're here killing monsters. I'm just curious.
Well, what I know for sure is we do need your expertise and you have a personal connection here, and I'd rather
Okay.
not divulge that, or I've been instructed to not divulge that to you. However, a property of Mr. Hamilton's in Romania has an infestation.
In Romania. Don't say spiders. Um, I'm curious. Who else have you? Do you know who else he's contacted?
I believe he got.
Curious.
Actually, I'm not even sure what their names were. Because they deleted their characters, I think.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's been so long.
Yo and Sean, their characters, whatever they named their characters, because again they deleted them, I think.
Yes, we lost Dromus along the way.
Yeah, they will be here, and I believe we've found a few able-bodied people that can help you out. At least some people who have some delusions that they might be able to be more than just peasants. But
Delusions.
they're willing to
We can
die.
inspire them to
They're
be
willing
better.
to die for their delusions. Let's just put it that way.
We can inspire them to be better.
I mean, if you were delusional at one point, I'm sure.
I still am. Still thinking this is a dream.
Well, for now, it might seem like a good dream, but that might not last. Things are
Still
bad.
alive. I'm ancient.
Things are bad.
Things are bad. Now, what about your benefactor? What about her? What you've been working with Hamilton for a long time. How often do you see him? How often do you see? Now, is Hamilton Kerwin at this time, or
He is. He's Kerwin's next iteration.
next body, next? I'm curious. Do you know of anyone else from? Oh, I'm trying to think of their names. Oh my God. I don't have my notebook.
Don't have your notes? Oh no.
I know I don't have my notes. I'm sitting out in the gazebo.
So you would be talking about Jeb Smith,
Jeb Smith,
Edward Hutchison, Simon Horn,
and then on the other side is what's her name? The head of the Lazarus group, the head of the rebels. She's been around for a while. Virginia.
The little girl that Ian went off to raise.
Who ended up Virginia Dare.
Mm-hmm.
That's her name. So honest, what do you know of Virginia Dare? I mean, it's been 100 years.
Well,
has she surfaced?
I said that there was a personal connection with this infestation.
Is she part of it? Oh, this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. I don't know if the rest of the group will know this. Cool.
So he brings you you to the train station.
Bring us.
And unfortunately, he goes, I cannot go with you for the rest of the train journey. I have a lot of things to take care of here. I'm very busy. Mr. Hamilton has a lot of pokers and a lot of fires. And he told me to get you to the train, and that when you get where you're going, there will be somebody there to meet you.
Okay.
So He drops you off at the train station. You get anything, and at this point, you recognize the location you're going to, not as Grim, but as Akeo. You recognize that the location you're going to is where you guys had your castle briefly.
Where we had the castle?
Yes, in Cyberpunk, the castle that you briefly had with the well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where you're headed.
Go figure. Okay. And this is where this train's dropping us off there.
Yeah.
Different when there's no one else in the party. You're like, oh,
what's going
I'm
on?
scared.
It's just you and
I'm
Barrett.
scared.
You and Barrett heading in there. But you know what? We don't have too much longer to go with this though. Thing, because I've got an idea where I'm going to end things, and it's not going to be too much longer. So just get enough of an intro, so you can go back to hanging out with the wife afterwards. So you go on your train, and as you go through this, you see like it's a couple of days drive right in, and as you come in, it's noon on the third day of your train ride in there. But as you go in, it's like an unnatural darkness hangs over this town. Like these clouds, this dark black cloud, and this constant, seems like a storm is brewing above you as you pull into the town.
Ew. Now, is this more of a mist or?
It's definitely a bit of a mist and like a cloudy. There's a disturbing lack of sunlight for noon. But it's not the same as mist as the Vikings. I'll give you that.
Okay.
It's not a wormy mist. It's almost like as you approach, as the train's kind of cresting through the woods, it's sunny, it's bright, it's a normal day, and all of a sudden you just see this, like, the train entering into this, like, black clouded area, and it's almost like a wall of black fog ahead of you as you go into it, this cloudy area, and you find yourself, it's almost like it's the middle of the night, even though it's the middle of the day.
I'm gonna look at Barrett and say, "What do you think of this, buddy?" Like, yeah, I don't know. Does this not give you chills? I'm sure him with his infernal knowledge would probably think the same. Okay.
He's like, "Oh shit, it's bad. It's real bad.
This is bad. Boss, this is bad.
It's real bad."
What are you gonna do? Buddy, we're in for a new adventure.
And that is the thing, is you haven't had an adventure in 20 years.
Yeah. Well, I figure we're bored. It's time.
It's time.
Time. Maybe go out with a bang. We've been around for 140 years. Honestly, you probably get to a point where you just want to go out and do something.
Mm-hmm. So
okay, we'll
the train pulls into the station, and you get off, and you're the only person getting off at this stop.
Ouch. Ouch. I'm gonna look up and down the concourse. There's nobody around.
It's deserted except for one disheveled, gaunt man standing there with a sign with your name on it.
That scares me.
With Joseph Grimaldi
Squire
on it.
Squire. I take it you're our ride to the keep?
Well, I don't think you're going to the keep anytime soon, but I'm here to find you lodging. And from what I understand, your associates will be here soon.
I'm hoping a warm fire and something for my belly.
Well, it'll be hard to get the chill of this place off you. It lingers.
So are you from here?
Yes.
Is this your hometown? Okay,
All
what was the
my
name of the
life.
town too? Yo had a name for everything.
Yeah, that's why we need Yo to be here. But it's that
I
town.
know. She'd rhyme off the exact castle. She'd be like, "This is the."
Yeah.
Well, Squire, lead on. I expect a fire. I expect food in my belly and drink in my cup, and
So
maybe I'll entertain you with a song or two.
so as you go, he kind of walks up the street, and you see this like this old man. He looks as old as you are, but he obviously is not.
I am going to complain that probably this chill is probably going to get into my bones, and my
And
arthritis will probably flare up.
you're complaining about this as this old man is dragging your crate, your
My chest of
your
stuff.
chest is dragging
Like-
your stuff behind him. He's like, "It's okay. It's not that far to the tavern." And he drags it, and you go to this and you know, a tavern. It's you see this street. It's lit by oil lamps again, middle of the day, lit by oil lamps, and you see the tavern lit up, but no music, no sounds of merriment, no sounds at all, really. Just this eerie
Just a
quiet.
depressing
Mhm.
haze. Do I see any people around at all?
You see like the occasional
Just
people
shuffling
just
about?
shoveling, walking around, going about their business.
I like it. It's got a good Ravenloft feel.
Yeah. So as you open up the door to the tavern, you see that it's almost deserted except for a man behind the bar, just sitting there. Like looks like he's bored. Like nobody's come to visit in a while. Just kind of sitting there, looking at a paper.
I'm gonna go in. I'll introduce myself.
Oh,
I'm here,
I heard you were
Joseph.
coming. I was warned.
Joseph Grimaldi.
I was warned to watch out for the little one.
I'm here to lift your spirits and start the party. Okay, I may need a little help up on the stool because my arthritis seems to be kicking up with the mist. Why is it so dark here? Is it always like this? This is like the off season?
It's probably been about 5 years since the last lord died.
That's an off season. The Lord of the castle, Lord of the.
Yes.
And how did he die? If I just want to ask, maybe
He gestures for you to look out towards the castle.
okay.
And as you look out towards the castle, you see this skeleton with a pike through its head hanging over the gates of the castle.
Ouch. Is there anyone in the castle now? Is this abandoned?
Why, the lady lives there. The dark lady.
The Dark Lady. Oh no. I see where this is going. Does she come into town at all?
I
Curious. Just be friendly. Well, let's have a drink and share a story, break bread together.
So he goes on. He starts. I've never seen the lady. She came one day 5 years ago in this covered wagon. Went up to the castle to meet with the Lord, and the next thing we know, he's hanging from a pike. And she's taken dominion over these lands. Decreed that nobody shall leave, and all who leave shall perish.
Has anybody left since coming in on the train?
Many have tried.
So the train doesn't leave?
Well, the train kind of stops at the edge of it. The train goes
But
through. People who come from here who leave are never heard from again. Whether they survive, we do not know.
Okay.
But no communication is ever heard from them again.
How many people have have come here since then? Am I the only one? Has there been more?
Many,
Is this
many have
common
come.
that
Many have come, but none
but no one
leave.
leaves? What happens? They just stay here, or
They
do they
stay here or they disappear.
food for thought or other things?
He kind of,
Now I'm
as you
curious.
make that joke, he almost looks pained by the food joke, as if it's almost painful that you're doing it. It's like, too soon, too soon.
Now, does he have food and drink?
He has food and drink.
Is there a spread? How do you guys? How do you bring things in? You bring food in. How do you? If you have no contact, I mean, this is just
Well, we
crazy.
have contact with the outside world. Just nobody who comes leaves other than those who stay on the platform, basically. Once you cross the platform, you're here forever.
I take it suntanning's out.
Again, he does not seem amused by it, and you can tell he's extremely pale, like somebody who has not seen the sun for 5 years.
Well, now I'm waiting for companions, I guess. Will they be coming here? Do you know?
From my understand, they took a little longer to get here. Their reservations start tomorrow.
Hmm. Interesting. So how am I going to entertain myself tonight? Can you suggest anything? Perhaps a
Uh,
walk about town?
well, feel free to walk around, as long as you're not out after dark. And at that, he smiles a little bit. That was clearly his idea of a joke.
It's dark all the time. It's pretty grim.
But
Pretty grim.
from what I've heard, you should be able to handle yourself.
Oh, I run away a lot. um. Okay, we're gonna eat. We're gonna have a bite to eat and a drink,
Yeah, he gives you this
and
warm
we're
stew
gonna
and soup.
stow or get a room, stow our
Mhm.
stuff, and
You have a fairly nice room, other than the fact that it seems like there hasn't been a lot of tourism, so it may be a little dusty.
I am gonna go take a little walk around. I wouldn't mind seeing the Lord on the Pike
Hmm.
and just have a little feel. But I'm actually okay. I hate vampires. Uh, I am gonna come in at before dark,
Okay.
so
So
I'm gonna take
as
a brief
you wander out,
reconnoiter.
mhm, you walk out, and as you're walking down the street towards the keep, the castle, and you look
Yeah.
up, give me a perception check or investigation, your choice. Dealer's choice.
Hmm. I think we're in the same boat.
Should be better now though. Your
Perception. I
boost
think.
to intelligence.
Yeah, but I don't know why. But it just doesn't want to.
Weird on D&D Beyond, when I see it in the game log there, it shows just custom roll, and then it doesn't show what it's for. But on Roll20, I see it with the modifier.
Yeah, see, it comes up on my D&D Beyond. Perception +3, D20,
Yeah, so you got
and
13.
then one roll sent to VTT, which would be Roll20.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
you got a 13.
Yeah. Yeah.
You again, you notice a little bit of you do notice this. You notice from that it's not raining, but you do see a shock of lightning hit a rod sticking out of the top of the one of the parapets of the castle. You see this kind of electricity kind of boost through, and you see these like lights flare up inside the castle and go away.
Yee. But there's no storm. It's just
It's just the natural aura around this place. It's not raining, but there's these clouds kind of swirling ahead, and every so often there'll be a lightning bolt will hit, and it always seems to hit this rod sticking out of one of the parapets.
what do the gates look like? What are the? Can I actually? Curiously enough, I'm gonna ask Barrett to go invisible and fly up. Have a look.
Okay. So you do see that as he kind of flies up, you see that there's a traditional it's kind of like a cliff, and they built the walls of the cave to kind of follow the cliff, and you see a drawbridge that goes over the cliff, over this like gap between the castle and the rest of the town. And this metal.
So over the drawbridge, over the gate is the impaled Lord. Can he fly closer to where I don't want to get zapped, but just do a little closer look, see anything around the windows, anything closer to the tower that's getting where the spire's getting hit by lightning. It seems curious. Those windows are lit up.
They light up briefly after the zap, and then they go away.
I don't want to bear you. Be careful. Careful.
All right, so he goes
Invisible. Just do a little fly.
He flies by. Give me a investigation check.
Okay, I'll pull him up. Look at that. Oh, he's got a big +0.
Ooh.
And he rolled a 1.
Okay.
You're an
give
idiot.
me a stealth check with disadvantage.
What a dummy. 16.
Jeez, that's not bad.
That's pretty good.
So
I mean,
as he's going through,
even
he doesn't seem to notice anything, because as he's flying up towards it, he looks into one of the windows and he sees this set of eyes staring at him, and he just like shits himself and flies away as fast as possible. These glowing red eyes.
Books.
And they literally made eye contact with him, even though he was invisible.
I'm just gonna roll back and say, it's not good.
Barrett comes out. It's bad. It's real bad. I think we try to leave. I think we gotta try to leave the mist. I know we said it was a bad idea, but I think we gotta try and leave the mist.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be bad in there. Oh my. Okay. We're gonna do a little quick run around the town, downtown. It'd be interesting to know if anyone I could talk to, anyone on the streets, or they just shuffle away and look at you like you're crazy.
Well, you're a stranger. They're a little worried about you. There's a couple of kids that you see like are looking out towards you, like some older kids. There's oddly nobody under the age of 5 that you can see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No children.
No children, but you do see some
infants.
Some older kids, teenagers, that sort of thing. But like a couple of like 7-8-year-olds just kind of like look at you with like thinking their parents kind of tuck them away and push them back into the house. Or
Damn sure we're the creepy guys from out of town. Stranger danger. Okay.
If you want, you can try and wrangle somebody though.
Yeah, I do. I want to try and see if I can get someone on the street, someone that I can just quickly talk to. Excuse me. Even if it costs me money.
You go through and you manage to get this one guy. He starts to try to get away from you, and like it looks like he's trying to casually walk away. And then as you yell at him, he's just like, he saw me kind of a thing. Like, oh, I hope he had no. Yes, how can I help you?
Ah, it's a wonderful village you live in. I'm just curious. Have you?
Wonderful. He's blind. They got a blind one this time. Great.
How long have you lived here? And a blind one this time. How many people have come?
Oh,
I'm questioning now. I think I'm
probably
just here for the fun of it.
30, 40 people have come. I'm guessing you're here to deal with the castle.
And I take it nobody leaves.
Yeah. Just
So,
don't get anybody else killed when you go to die. Just die on your own.
you mean townspeople?
We've seen enough death. Enough naive people have followed hunters and adventurers into that castle.
So this
Never
has
to be
been like
seen
a
again.
non-stop trail. What do you know of the lady of the castle?
I know that anybody who's seen her has never been seen again.
Now, what about townspeople? You said people go missing. Like, how big is this town? How many people are missing?
I think there was probably 4 or 5,000 people 5 years ago. We're probably 300 strong now.
Somebody's hungry.
There's been many failed coup attempts. I'm
Well, who runs
surprised.
the town?
Well, the lady's
Other than
emissaries
the
run the
lady.
town.
The who? The emissaries?
Yes, the ones we do see. The man.
What does he look like?
Young, handsome.
When do you typically see him?
Most days, he makes some sort of appearance. He'll preen around town, waving his cane, grab supplies back to the castle.
How long's he been here? I'm curious.
He came with the lady.
It's only been here 5 years. Huh. Now, none of you have gone in yourselves, or you
Nobody's who's
chased the
gone in
lady
has
out?
come out.
And you say there's been adventurers nonstop coming.
Like I said, 30, 40 adventurers have come through.
Now, do these guys ever come with a leader who's gone back and forth?
No, again, nobody who's ever left through the fogs.
Huh. Do you know of a guy named Hamilton? Ever heard of a guy?
Never heard of Hamilton. I think I saw in the paper some famous guy in Hamilton across the sea.
Hmm. What of a Doctor? Oh, what was his name? No notebook.
Dr. Nicholas Barbone.
Barbone. Dr. Barbone. Seems like a pretty upstanding fella. You ever heard of him?
The former lord had a personal physician. I believe his name was Barbone.
But he's never been in town since. Have you seen him in the last couple of years? You don't know.
I have not seen him.
Question.
I have not seen him. He seemed to have disappeared around the time the lady arrived.
Okay. Has he ever seen the lady outside of the castle? You ever want to see the lady outside of the castle?
I've never seen her leave the castle.
Not even at night? You don't go out at night?
It would be foolish to
Night
go out
time's
at
up.
night. People who go out at
Why?
night disappear.
Oh. Yeah, I could see that. You know, there's bad things that happen at night. Curious. Well, I'd like to thank you for helping me out. You've answered a few questions. You've given me some insight.
Okay. And as you finish talking to this guy, you hear this loud metallic creak start to come there from the drawbridge as the bridge starts to lower behind you.
Oh,
And the guy immediately books it for a building, runs inside.
okay. No, we're still daylight.
Yep.
Okay.
So the
Oh, wait, let's see what
drawbridge,
comes out of the gate.
the drawbridge lowers, and you see this man, a man by himself, with a top hat and a tuxedo, starts to walk across the bridge with a cane and a bag.
Oh,
And I will
does he
pull
look
him up
like a?
on roll 20 for you?
Does he look doctorly or?
More like some sort of pompous. This is you get the idea that this is the guy he talked about who kind of runs the
Yep,
show, the
the stick.
emissary comes by here. And give me a history check.
Nope. 11.
11. Okay. You recognize him, but you can't quite place where from. He looks familiar.
Bag and a top hat, but I can't quite place the face. Okay, so is he walking towards me? I'm going to. Obviously, I'll stand out in the street.
Okay. So you walk your way out into the street, and you
Introduce
just see
myself.
there. You see him as he walks by, and he just kind of walks by you, and he just kind of like grins at you as he walks by. And at this point here, as he gets closer to you, the feeling of things of a flash comes back to you. And the reason you didn't recognize him at first is when you knew him, he was much older.
But now he's young. Who does he look like?
He looks like, oh, where is it? Trying to pull it up. Herod, Ian's character, who went off with Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah.
Only when you knew him, he had aged unnaturally and was, probably looking 60, 70 years old last you'd seen him. Now he looks in his 20s, even younger than when you first met him. And he was a little rough around the edges. And here you see him dignified and cleaned up. He just kind of smiles at you as he walks by and heads towards the bar.
Okay, I'll follow him.
Okay.
The bar's a place to go.
Yeah. So you follow him into the bar, and he sits down at the bar. And as he gets in, as soon as he opens the door, like even before he opens the door, the barkeep has a drink poured for him and sitting on the counter for him. He comes in and he starts to drink his fancy mixed cocktail that does not seem like the kind of thing that you would have in this area, but it seems like he's the only one who's able to order this off the menu item. He goes and he starts to drink it.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to the bar and order a drink.
Okay.
And order an ale.
Okay.
And I'm gonna turn to him. Trying to remember what his name was. It was
Herod.
Herod. We've come a long ways from pushing carts in the mud.
Oh, haven't we both? Haven't we both? He shouldn't have come.
I really had no choice.
Did Kerwin send you?
Oh no, really? Who sent me? More of
That's
a invitation to adventure.
yeah. Well,
Something to do with our age.
you probably should have said no.
Well, hey, this looks like a nice place. Needs a little fun, needs a little sprucing up.
Oh, it's plenty of fun. At least I enjoy myself.
So you seem nice and young and spry for an old man.
I've never felt better.
How long have you been here?
Well, I'm sure you know that by now. You're a bright fellow. I saw you talking to the townsfolk.
Huh.
And give me a perception check.
How's your charge? Where's that? Anyways, that's a 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You
Dirty
hear
20.
the man you were talking to screaming outside.
Screaming outside. Okay, I'm gonna go look at the. I'm gonna run to the door. I want to see.
You run to the door, you see
What do I
these
see?
two hulking figures dragging him by his arms as he's kicking and screaming and they're effortlessly dragging him off towards the castle.
What do the figures look like? So just big.
Giant 9 foot tall behemoths, pale
Ouch.
skin.
Ouch. I'm gonna come back and sit with them. Is that really necessary?
People need to learn their place. You'll eventually learn your place. Or you'll
In
find
this
your place at
shithole?
the bottom of the cavern. And then he finishes his drink, puts it down, gets up, and walks out of the bar.
Sure, he smiles. Asshat. I look at the barkeep. You know, I really don't like that guy.
And he
No.
says nothing at all as he kind of watches the guy leave. Kind of stares at him as he leaves the room.
Okay, I'll watch to see where he goes. I'm sure he's saunter his way back to the castle.
Mm-hmm.
What an asshat. Okay, this is interesting. So I'm gonna try and pique the barkeep's. I don't know if you'll want to talk to me.
So as you see the guy,
Oh,
you go to the door to walk up there, and you see this young man carrying your trunk down from the room, and the barkeep goes, "Unfortunately, you're unable to stay here. Your reservation's been canceled."
okay. Not very nice.
And you see the fear in the barkeep as he does this, as this is done. Like, he did not want to have to do this.
Okay, fine.
You do see, as you give me a actually, you see attached to your trunk, brass key and a note attached to it.
Okay. We'll drag our trunk out and look at the note.
Right, the note gives you
Secretly.
an address to a house. You can kind of make it like a map, lifting out like a little house on the edge of town.
Before I leave the tavern, I will ask though, but that doesn't mean I'm cut off from drinking here, right?
And he kind of looks. He goes, "As long as it's just a drink you're looking for."
Obviously, no information. Okay, I will try and find this. Grim and I will
Give me a perception check for
drag.
yourself. You can do it with advantage or have Grim do it. But both of you give me perception checks. I'm sure yours are better than Grim's, so you can have him give you the
No.
help action.
You know what? Barrett's got a much better perception than I do.
Really?
Yeah, he does. He's got a +4. I got a +3. Ooh, thank God it's with advantage. A 1 and a 19. 23.
23? Okay. So,
I like the
Barrett
sound of the new dice.
Barrett looks around and he sees on top of the like cavern this crow looking at you, and he notices like a human eye on the crow, and then he blinks and it's a normal eye, and the crow flies off.
Ugh. Sneaky, sneaky. You know what, Barrett? You could change it to a crow and go after him and then just fry the little bugger. Yeah, really terrified to go off and do anything on my own because I'll get my ass whooped really hard. Okay, we'll find this place to hole up. I really need the party to come now. Yeah,
So,
really need to party.
so you find your way to town, or back to through town to this thing, and you find this house that the key opens, and as you open it up, you see an empty, abandoned house, dusty, hasn't been lived in
That's
for
fine.
a few years.
That's fine.
And you go inside, and you have this little house for you to reside in.
This little house. Oh, I'm in Barrett. Well, I am not sleeping out in the open in this place.
Well, being outside at night would be a bad idea.
It would, and I feel much better getting 8 hours sleep inside a tiny hut. And that's how I'm doing it. I will find a room inside the house. I will cast Gilman's tiny hut, and I will drag my case in there, and that's where we're going to stay.
Yeah.
8 hours of safety. And we're going to have to wait for a party.
Exactly.
I will spend.
That's where I was planning on ending it right there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to spend, I don't know, try and I'll go down to the train station and wait for the next train.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully someone will come in.
Yep.
Perfect.
All right. That's where we'll end it today. Not a bad little one-person session to set up the new world. Give you a bunch of information to share with everybody else.
That's going to be creepy as hell. Everyone's going to have to plan. Oh, I love the whole Ravenloft book. Is just going to be so much fun.
It's good. It's Van Richten's guide. It's pretty good. It's a good book.
I know. I just saying that. I love the dice.
Yeah.
You roll in D20 and they thump down. They go.
All right. Well,
they
I'm going
got
to
that little
stop the stream.
smoke.
Bye, stream people. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks.